Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. You joined me on my first job of the week. We've just got a rather poorly shock absorber. You can just see it's just all rusted away. It's quite dangerous really. So we've got a new one here. We're doing them in pairs. We've got two fronts to do. We got new top mounts as well with the bearings, because obviously look at the state of that. Yeah, let's get it swapped out. So this is the kit I use to do springs. It's got 3 different sort of cups, and I'll just show you how it's done. I'll set up a little time lapse. Right, so we've got that top mount bearing off, so that's why whenever I do springs, shocks, always replace these bearings on any car. They're a wearable item, so whilst you're in there, there's no more extra labour, just a few quid extra on parts. So we're just going to try and get this separated, get a better look at that. Yeah, that's knackered. Even the shock, you can tell, is just staying down. Right, that's it all built back up. There's a few little bits you've got to just remember. There's a rubber bit on top and the bottom of the spring, and then just underneath this top mount there's a couple of little washers. Allows this to spin nice and freely. So we just got to go and put it back in the car. For all those that like things being torqued. Right, you can see this one isn't in the same state. It's got a bit of rust around the bottom, but overall it's in good condition. But whenever doing suspension components, it's just best to do them in pairs. Otherwise, if you've got a brand new shock and spring over there, it's going to cause an imbalance, and then if that side was that sort of state, you don't know when this other side's going to go. So just safety wise, preventative maintenance, we'll just get the other side done. I won't bore you with doing it again, I'll just put you on a time lapse. Like I said, this shock's not in bad condition. You see a lot of rust around there. The actual base is okay, but the shock itself, if I press that down, that should be rebounding a lot quicker. So I think that shock's knackered anyway. Back to the time lapse. There we go, side number 2 done. And just to finish up the job, as always, nice little Kerbside air freshener. And there's 2 more, because there's 2 more cars in the household, so I'll just give them to them and they can stick them in there. Job done. On to the next one. Right, that Mini is done. I was meant to have a half day today because the plumber's coming round, but he messaged saying something's come up. Can he come a bit later? Which is fine, I know him anyway. I'm gonna have to start charging deposits, not just for customers but people coming around my house now. But anyway, so that gives me a chance to maybe go and get some parts for tomorrow's job, because I've got to go to Ford. Yeah, and I might even go and do that job today, because it's just a boost pipe and a tensioner, drive belt tensioner and belt. And then actually I'm going to go and get this mop sorted out, go get a haircut, because my job, which I've just finished, is around the corner from my barber's. So see me in a minute looking fresh. It's not looking good. He's butchered it. Oh. So since I've moved out of London a few years back, I've stopped going to the barber that I always go to down there, and trying to find a new barber that will do your hair the way you like it is impossible. It's like some rubbish mechanic turning up and just leaving your car in bits. But oh well, it'll be raining most this week, so I'll probably have a hat on and it will all grow back. Right guys, we've managed to pull this job forward. So we've got a very noisy tensioner, and also this boost hose has got a split in it just there, I think it is. So we've already diagnosed this last week with the smoke machine. Right, we'll start with just taking this Jubilee clip off. Right, I've decided I'll take the under tray off and then take this front cover off, and that way you can just get in there and get to the Jubilee clip there without struggling. That's the bottom Jubilee clip done. Just got to wriggle it out. There we go. I'll just show you guys where it was leaking from. See there, there's actually another smaller slit up there. So here you go, you got like for like, genuine Ford part. Just to help things slide on a bit better, I've got a bit of red rubber grease. Just dab some of that on the inside there. Dab some on there. And that will also stop it sticking to the plastic on the intercooler if you ever want to take it off again. Right, so I've got the old alternator tensioner off, and it seems okay, to be honest. Like, I can't with my hands feel any play in it. I'm dubious about putting that on, and especially when I've seen this. Don't know how well you're picking that up, but that pulley seems like it's just not spinning true. Right, yeah, so that one, after I took the belt off and I took the, oh man, I messed about taking that bloody tensioner off, and then I looked at the tensioner, I thought, do you know what, I can't see it being that, because it just, I know it's under a lot more tension when it's bolted to the engine block, but I didn't think it was causing the issue. So when I spun that alternator pulley, it just wasn't spinning true. It was almost, I don't know if it's just the pulley wheel itself or the shaft it sits on. He was more concerned at getting the boost leak done, but I'm just really annoyed at myself for diagnosing it wrong, spending ages on it. I'm really annoyed with my haircut. Yeah, it's just dreadful. But yeah, that's Monday done, and I'm expecting the plumber soon, so I'll have a nice big bill to pay. Moany Mondays. Great. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Right, so this is a little Seat Ibiza. We've actually got a battery drain on it. So she'll say they put a new battery on it. You could drive it around for a few days, leave it overnight, then it just goes flat. To the point now where it just goes sort of flat straight away. So tested the battery. You see it's rated at 480 amps, and it's just reading 301. state of health 36%, state of charge 76%. Right, I've got the amp clamp on and it's reading 0.2 of an amp, so that should be down by 0.03 at a maximum, I believe. But the alarm has just gone off when I put the battery on, so we just wait for it all to shut down. Right, just to test a theory, so the car's been shut down for a little while, still sitting at 0.1718, and the customer did say they had a black box fitted, so I've just found that, and apparently the company did come out and say they disconnected it, but it's all still very much alive. So just to test the theory, we're going to take this fuse out and go back and see. That's now dropped and is dropping. If you can see, it's a bit misty, but that is dropping 0.7. Still a little bit high, creeps up to 1. The car has now been sitting for a bit longer. You can see these numbers since disconnecting the tracker. I mean, this machine isn't quite accurate, but it does come down 0.4, 0.2, 0.1, sometimes 0.01. Right, all I've done is just remove the whole system completely, and I'm just going to wire up using some of this proper loom tape, not this electrical tape crap stuff, and that should be it. Right, now that's disconnected, I'm just going to test the alternator, make sure that's all good. Right, we'll load it up now. So we just turn the lights on, hazards, radio, fans, AC, everything's going. Switch on a couple of lights. Rear wipers going. And then we'll just check that again. So we know the alternator's nice and healthy. We'll turn it off, let it go to sleep, check that amp drawer again, and then that should be us done. Right, another complaint was the power steering light is on and there's no power steering, so we're just checking the fuses. Voltage there, voltage there, no voltage there, voltage there, next one along, voltage there. So we come to this one, should be voltage across there, so we think the fuse is just blown. Right, so I established obviously this fuse had blown, so I've just moved them over one each, because I'm pretty sure these are all rated at the same amperage. So yeah, that's all I've done is move that along. I didn't show you before, but there was a steering wheel light on the dash, and the steering wheel was really heavy. But yeah, that's all sorted now. Right, so that last job, it was actually a Hyundai. I think I've got it all wrong today. I'm sure I said at the start of Tuesday, I said I've got a Focus and another maybe Ford. I can't remember now what I said, but yeah, it was a Hyundai. I'm sure I asked him plenty of questions to try and sort of diagnose it over the phone, but he said that the belt had come off So, you know, I said to him, okay, can you see any of the pulleys? Can you get your hand to any of them and just see if they're a bit seized, because that sometimes can cause the belts to come off. But when I got there, the belt was still on, and I've tested it, and the alternator is basically not charging, so gonna have to rebook him for that one. Yeah, didn't film it because it took me all of 30 seconds to diagnose and have a look at it, and the customer was there as well. So we're now on my next job, or last job of the day, to rear wheel bearings, get that out right, on this little Hyundai Yaris. So you'll probably see by the time this video is out, another video I shot maybe a few months back, the one with me and James out. We actually did a service on this at the time, just an oil change. So yeah, let's start it. Right, first hiccup on this job. Obviously got to take the wheels off, and the locking key is nowhere to be found. So I'm gonna have to, she has said she's had the tyres done, so tyre shop's probably just misplaced it, not put it back in. I've checked everywhere, but yeah, can't find it. So I'm going to have to try and remove the locking bolts, see if they come off or they're nuts. So this other set is, well, I've got this twist socket set, but the biggest one is too small. It's meant to fit over there. And then this one just about fits on there, so we're going to try and hammer that on, and it's sort of what would be the word, concaved, gets smaller as it goes in, and then you twist it and hopefully it grabs. We'll try that first. Little disclaimer, the customer has said to go ahead and try this option, so I'm not just going ahead without their say so. Really, that's one. Ta-da! Milwaukee power. So there's obviously a lot of corrosion on the back of here, so we've just got a rubber mallet to hit the back. Little tip. Put one screw, one bolt, one nut, even. So it doesn't fall off. Right, so we've got this drum off, and just sort of having a look at the inside of that is not great. And when you actually spin the wheel, it's not that noisy. I'd expect a bit more resistance on there. Right, with the wheel on, which I forgot to check, it did spin really freely, even though it was no graunchiness here. So I'm going to go with the wheel bearing. So it's just 4 bolts in there, and then might have to see if we can tap it out. If not, we'll get the slide hammer on it. Right, so the key to getting these out is you leave the bolts in, all 4 bolts, or just a few threads out, and then, because otherwise this whole brake assembly will come apart. So now I've separated, if you can see in there, you won't be able to, but there's a gap between the bearing and the backing plate. Right, it's absolutely chucking it down now. So I'll take a little break. Don't know if you can see or hear the rain. Should put my canopy up really. But we'll see if the rain passes and then we'll continue. I tell you what, it is not my week. So the locking wheel bolt tool sockets that I've got, the biggest size went on the first wheel nut, and I think I probably smashed it on too much, because now it's just stuck on there. and I can't get the nut out of the socket. I've tried heating up the socket and bashing it through. Yeah, it's absolutely seized in there. And all the other sockets I've got for the other side are too small or don't grip it enough. So I've just gone to Screwfix to try and get some chisels or some locking wheel bolt or any locking removal tools. They didn't have any the right size. I bought some absolutely humongous chisels, which I don't think is going to work. Just been to Motor Parts Direct, they haven't got anything in stock. Yeah, so it's another really bad day, to be honest. I mean, I've done that one Diag job and that's the only money I've earned for the day. The rest of the time I've just been a busy fool. So frustrating. The second job, like I said, it wasn't what the customer said. I shouldn't have really listened to him, but I'll charge that out as a diagnostic call out fee, and then you know, because that's, you know, wasted my time really. And in this job, I'm gonna have to charge for the wheel bolt removal. It's not my fault that they ain't got the key, the tyre shop has lost it. But means I'm probably not going to get that other side done today. Hello guys, right, it's Wednesday, and it's actually about 2:30 now. So I had a bit of a late start. Took the dog to doggy daycare. So we've got a rescue dog, and we're just getting her integrated with other dogs. So yeah, so I didn't film anything today because it's been absolutely chucking it down. Feeling a bit under the weather anyway, and both customers on both my jobs today were there, so yeah, I didn't really film. But the first one was a Mini, bit of a story behind it. The daughter came back from uni, parked it up. I think every now and then the windows were playing up, not closing and opening, and then one day it wouldn't start. Some other garage came round, jump started it drove it to the garage, and then at this point it just wouldn't start again, and it was having all these electrical issues. They said it was the CAS unit, so the customer got it recovered home because they was quoted about £2,000. They've called me out. I've gone to have a quick look today. I said to, because they said it could be something to do with a immobilizer issue, and the software on the computer I've got won't do immobilizers. So I said, look, I'll come and have a look. If it's something I can do, you know, I'll price it up and whatever. So I went round there, and it's got loads of faults with the FRM footwell control module, and I know they're quite common. So what I'm going to do is remove it and get it sent off for testing, because there's a place that will actually fix them. So that was that one. Then my second job, it was for a good customer of mine. He's got a few cars. So he's got this BMW 4 Series. It's got a lot of power, and also one of the rear brake lights, or actual light units, the wiring or the pin on the bulb holder has got corroded, snapped off inside the plug, and I couldn't get the pin out of the plug. So what I ended up doing is getting a repair kit from BMW, removed all the other wires with the pins, and then just cut open the plug, so it exposed the end of the wire on the dodgy one, and so just repin that, put a new pin on that, plug that in. That's all working fine. It had an outside air temperature, ambient air temperature sensor fault, because it's lowered, it's modified, and that was just whoever's done the work previously was just tied it up, wrapped it around some other bits, and it was just dragged along the floor. So the dash was reading I think 58 degrees or something silly, So I said, right, well, we'll get that replaced, because that could be causing issues with, you know, the ECU software, and who knows, these little sensors can cause all sorts of problems. So we've replaced that. It's still in limp mode, but there is a fault, which I knew before, for an exhaust temperature sensor. Now this has got a catalytic converter and DPF delete. It's a diesel 435D, lovely, it's rapid. So I've ordered one of those up. We're going to go back another day for that. And then he's got an S3 is it 8V, the Mark 1. Again, it's heavily modified, and he's got a power steering leak on that. And it's yeah, so we've got to go back another day and fit that pipe. And then yeah, I was meant to do a full service on the BMW, but again, the weather was just, the rain was coming down sideways. So I said to him, let's just rearrange the service until it's actually running and driving without the limp mode. So yeah, and I've come up my unit. And if you've watched my other video, if I've learned to put the video up in one of these corners by the time I've edited this, I'll put it up there. But the title is Not a Good Day as a Used Car Dealer, I think it is. So just scroll down a couple. You would have seen my unit, or it's disused stables, which we've converted a couple of the stables into dry areas to work on cars. So we've had that for about 1.5 years, and now we've just got the opportunity to come into this new unit. So I'll show you guys around. Right, so the old unit, if you remember, it's just behind there. That's the building. So in that corner is where we used to work on the cars. And now we've got all of this. So the other mobile mechanic, Carl, he's going in there. There's going to be a body shop guy in there, and then all this is just getting flattened. So all this is going to be parking. You've got another unit here, no one's in this one yet, and this is our one, the corner one. And there we go. As we come in, we've just got an engine that's got to go in a van, and then we've got all this space now. You probably ain't seen this, is probably the first time you would have seen it on my channel. The van's all stickered up. We've got the bonnet wrapped as well. So yeah, this is the space. We've got this used ramp. That's come from a garage we know. They were upgrading all their ramps, and they've sold us this one for pretty cheap. I think we're going to have it up over there. So as you can see, if you had anything on a ramp here, it's blocking up the door. So I think as you come in, just going to have the ramp in line with the door. Sort of along there. So just get a car in there, then we've got space that side for a car, and all along here, obviously here. And then we've got a little storage / office area in here. So this will be storage down here. Let's just get a light on. We've got some lights going up. Oh, actually, I think they might be live now. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Yeah, so it's just, I think it's just in the process of moving in now, and getting everything sorted. So yeah, we'll have a bit of storage here. Probably won't store too much here. It looks like it's been leaking. Where's that coming in from? Probably running down there, but there's no drip marks down the side here. Look at all these cobwebs. Gonna have to give it a good old clean before we move in here. And then up the stairs is where we'll have a little office area. nice and bright. We've got a few of these clear Perspex sheets gone in. They weren't here before, they've just added it in, the landlord. And then, yeah, we've got all this space up here. And then you can look down. So one day when we've got all our workers here, once the business has expanded, you can just look down on them. So yeah, I'll just show you how far we are from the old unit. So parking space is there. All this is going to be flattened and concreted, hopefully. Oh, what a mess. So just walk along here. And then, as you'll recognise, this is some of the old units. So we've still got all the cars. This is Carl's car he's working on. We've got all these cars here that need moving over. Couple for sale. My old van, my Mini. This will be up for sale. All I need to do is change this last fog light over, give it a good clean. The old Mark II there. She needs some love. Start the day off with some rear pads and discs. You can see them metal to metal. So we're gonna get them done. So not good. We've got a split boot on this side. I think this piston might be seized. Right, we've managed to get it all the way back in with a bit of a struggle, but yeah, that's not good. We'll have to advise the customer on that one. Right, so we are at my fleet customer. I done a DPF on this old Transit a little while back. He's complaining of an engine light on, but I think he means this light here, which is to do with the brakes, I believe. All the pads are okay. And he said also it smokes sometimes. I've driven it, I took it for a long old test drive, didn't smoke at all. So we're just gonna have a look at what faults are in the system now. So we've got faults for all four glow plugs. It starts fine, no hesitation when starting. I don't think it'll actually be 4 glow plugs that are faulty. I highly doubt. Maybe control unit for it or something. I wasn't booked in to come and have a look at this today. It was the other van. So this crafter, the rear doors wouldn't open. So what we've had to do is completely remove the lock, because the lock was just busted. So now can't open the door like that, but with a screwdriver you can open that top one and it holds it closed for now. I'll just show you the actual lock. So this is the damaged or faulty lock. So yeah, I think the mechanism back here is broken. Don't know if you'll be able to see. So this, you can see the latch mechanism here, and it comes down, and basically when you pull on a handle it operates this lever, and it's meant to operate this bit back here as well, like that. It's not doing that, so that's toast. Gonna order up a new one of those. Right, so I've had another job, non-start and on a Fiesta, 55 plate Fiesta. Yeah, it's just a starter motor, Diagged it. So I've come to pick up a new starter motor for it. Right, last job of the day. There's a starter motor on this Fiesta, so we put a new one in. Car starts. That's the weekend done. Right guys, that is it for the week. Friday's all done. Sorry it's been a bit bitty this week because yeah, just not felt great since Monday evening. So yeah, a couple of jobs going wrong there. Yeah, weather not great. I've just paid my parts bill today, so that's making me feel even worse. But yeah, these are the ups and downs being mobile or running your own business. You know, you have good weeks, you have bad weeks. It's not been a particularly bad week, but it's just feels like nothing's gone right totally. Don't feel like I've made loads of money or enough money, should I say. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. You know, if you're liking these weekly episodes, just subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what else you want to see in these weekly episodes. Obviously like the video. I'm finally, as of filming this, past 1,000 subscribers, so thank you everyone that has subscribed so far. Next goal I guess is 10,000, 100,000. Who knows. But yeah, we'll see how this video comes out in the edit, and then we'll get back to it next week. Thanks for watching.